Hello everybody, anybody new to my channel, my name is Jeff and welcome to Home Machinist. So first, you can see we're a little bit busy here. Today's video is going to be on this ball turner. We'll discuss that in a second. First, let's discuss next week's videos. As you see, I got a block of aluminum here. I need two parts out of this. I need a 1-inch cantilever scope mount, and I need a long riser for this upper. I shoot this with the red dot all the way out here on the handguard. Vulnerable place to lose zero on a handguard. It could possibly move if you knock it around. When I shoot, I used a cheek weld back here on that foam, and my red dot for me out here is where I want it. It's perfect for me right there, but again, the handguard is vulnerable to movement. So we're going to build ourselves a longer riser, same height, but it's going to firmly mount these two pieces together firmly, so we don't have a near the chance of losing a zero from knocking it around. So we're also going to do a cantilever scope mount. In the comments below, let me know which one you'd like to see next week. You want to see the riser first, or you want to see the 1-inch cantilever scope mount? This here we did last week. I didn't show you how well this tightened together. It's absolutely beautiful how well this thing tightens. It takes effort. Don't take much to tighten it together, then it takes a lot of effort to loosen it. But I'm going to go ahead and put a ball and spring detent in here, maybe 2 ball and spring detents, just so it has a firmer lockup and less chance of unscrewing or coming loose. I have a little bit of work to do up here too, so we're going to do that in a future video. But for now, let me know in the comments below, scope mount, riser, what's the first video you want to see? They're both coming out of this block. But let's get on to this ball turning here. Ball turning, the more accurate your setup, the more accurate your spear is going to turn out. When you're doing your front radius, I'm going to talk about this real quick before we get on the lathe. When you're doing your front part of your radius, and you want to blend it into the side of your OD, setup has everything to do with how well you're going to meet that OD at the end. You're just going to skim it, or you're going to put a step in it. You'll see how well we meet the OD on this, and it has everything to do with how well I find my center and how well I find the side of the part. So let's get on the lathe and let's get turning my version of ball turning. Okay, so here's my small lathe ball turner that I purchased. I don't even remember what it was for, how much I paid for it. But when I bought this, I was making a tool to pick Lear jets up off the ground. Actually, it was a Citation jet and a turbine aircraft, prop driven. And it was for a jack to pick it up, and the ball allowed the tool to self-center, and then it went into a hole on the front landing gear and it picked it up. And that's why I originally bought this. So I made this riser, adapted this ball turner just for that particular tool I made. And this was done probably 2.5 years ago, 2.5 years ago, I think, more like it. So anyways, so this is basically a mini lathe, a very small lathe ball turner. It does way better than I ever expected it to do. But setting it up, most people have probably seen videos setting up ball turners. It's really, really easy. We can see our center. We bring our tool in. We make sure it's dead in the center of our part. Then at this point, we're going to leave the cross slide in place. And I have zeroed my X, so if I do move the cross slide, I know exactly where that center is. And I've also zeroed off the front, because when you do a spear, you have to cut the front radius first, and then you cut the rear radius. So we know our zero is right to the front of that part. We'll do it again. And at this point, we need to loosen the tool up. Let me grab my Allen wrench. Okay, so now at this point, we're going to loosen the tool up. Okay, we're just going to back it off a little bit. We're going to bring it around, move the tool out of the way. Okay, now we're going to come in, we're going to touch off the front. There's my feeler gauges. So now we're going to bring our tool in. We want to touch the part. Okay, this is really important. When you tighten these set screws, it's going to push this over, because there's slop in here. It's not a whole lot, but there is some. Okay. So let me snug this down real quick. and get my Allen wrench in there so I can tighten it. Okay, I think we got enough room there. Yeah, it looks like we do. Okay, so we're going to go in, push our tool again up against the part. I'm going to go in here and snug this set screw. And we're up against the part right there. Okay, let's back off. Finish tightening the tool. Okay, so we know the X is still 0, we're still in the center. Dead on. So at this point we're going to start cutting this corner first. Okay, so we're cutting a radius. This works in a radius, not a diameter. So we're going to back off. So we're just getting to that corner and we're going to start cutting right there. So let's do this. I'm running 1400 RPM. Now you can see there could be a little clearance issue here, and that's why I have this so far outside the jaw. So this is an issue with ball cutters or ball turners. So when you have your tool post on here using regular lathe tools, the tool post sits, but the tool's offset to the left. So with this ball cutter, it creates a situation where you got to bring your carriage way up, and this part of the carriage will hit the splash fan back here. So we have to have a part a little further out than we would probably normally like it, and so we might get a little squealing. But let's start cutting. Okay, and this is all we're going to do. That's probably a little much, but let's do it anyways. Okay, and we're just going to start feeding in. I want to recheck my 0 real quick on the front. Make sure our dro, remember we moved that tool. Okay, there we go. Okay, so we're re-zeroed. Sorry about that. Let's do it again. And we're not going to go all the way 90 degrees. Not yet. So we're going to move it in. I'm going to do this as fast as I can, keep this video short. Don't go past 90 yet. You don't want to undercut the back side of that in any way, shape, or form. But it won't turn out at the end. This tool works way better than I thought it would. The dro says 200 to go. Now if you went ahead and tried to cut that back side, you can see that the tool's not on the face, so you would cut the back side completely out of excuse me, it'll be offset. So you can't cut the back of any sphere on a ball turner until you reach your face. To go. There's that squeal. So as this diameter gets smaller, this tool tends to do this. So I'm just going to push through it. and it'll stop. There it goes. It just stopped. $75 to go. Again, we're just going to push through. That has a lot to do with that part sticking so far outside the jaw and rigidity in the tool. So being that it's a small ball turner, rigidity has to be thought about. Okay. We're approaching. Okay, getting very close here. That right there says 20 thou to go. We'll go to 30 to go. Yeah, this tool is definitely doing what it's done every time I use it. But it's okay. $10 to go. I think that's what it says. I'm just going to push through this slowly. Going to stop doing it in a second. There you go. We're getting a mirror finish. Literally a mirror finish on it. Beautiful. Well, almost a mirror. Okay, we're really close here. So 10th out to go. I'm gonna back off my center a little bit over here. Now we're gonna move in 5,000. We have 5,000 to go. And once we get our zero in the front of this thing, we can do the rear. Okay, we're going to finish. We're going to hit our zero here. Zero. There we go. Okay, now we can go ahead and do the back side. I'm just going to go ahead and do it. This little tool will handle more than you think, and you're going to see it right here. You know, finish this stuff around a little bit, right in the center, or we can fix that. I'm being gentle. Now we could feed the tool in differently, but this can be done right here. So. Sorry about hitting the camera there, straight in my face. All right, I think we're just going to call it. Now I can go in there and clean that shaft up if I had to. All right, let's back off. All right. So there you go, that's all there is to it. So you can buy a cheap ball turner, build yourself a riser, and make yourself a turner. Now you could do a whole ball turner build, a heck of a lot of work, and this ball turner is so cheap, that's why I did this. If it was expensive and I couldn't, I'd have made one. But all I had to make was the riser. And to get the riser height, one of the easiest ways would be while your tool post and one of your center tools is on the tool post, measure it with a height gauge or a digital caliper, and that's basically how I did this. And then I was able to get it almost dead center to my spindle on the first try. I intentionally made it a little shallow, so I didn't want to overshoot it and have to take it all back off and machine the riser, do any more machining to it. So I cut it just short of the center, and then I just used a couple feeler gauges to get my center. So there you go, that's all there is to this. I'm going to part this off, and then we're going to finish this video. We'll talk about it, and yeah. So again, the only reason I did this was because I made a monopod apart from my neighbor. He built a monopod for one of his long-range rifles. And I had to get the ball turner out, so while I had the ball turner out, I decided I'd go ahead and do this for you. Even though there's a lot of videos on YouTube about ball turning, this is mine. So it's a 12 by 36 gap bed lathe using a mini lathe or a very small 9 by 19, 10 by 22 mini lathe ball turner. Again, with my machined riser. Works perfect. Okay, so here it is. Turned out absolutely beautiful. I took my part off tool, was what I used. I went in there. So when I finished that backside of radius, I was about 5 thousandths larger than this OD. So all I did was take my part off tool, and I went in there and I cleaned that corner up. But here it is, beautiful sphere. We met our side when we hit our zero at the front. We met a side of our OD right here absolutely flawlessly, and we went ahead and just pushed through to the back and did the radius that way. But you could have still kept your zeros and came over and started, just like we did the front, started on that corner. We could have come back here and cut this corner until we met our radius. But I knew this ball turner would handle that big push all the way to this shaft diameter, so that's what we did. So it turned out very, very nicely. I'm very pleased with this, but this is my version of a ball turning video. And again, in the comments below, let me know what you want to see next week. Do you want to see the cantilever scope mount, or do you want to see the riser first? I'm going to do the spring and ball detents in this and finish the front of this in an upcoming video as well. Also, in the comments below, do you want to see me do a full build of this on camera, and would you also like to see me do a full build on my 6mm arc? I love you all very much. I appreciate every one of you. Thank you for liking, sharing, and subscribing, and please like, share, and subscribe. I hope you have a fantastic work week. I'm breathing really well today, and we're going to take advantage of this today and see if we can get a lot done. So I have good days and bad days, and I'm having a good day today. So have a fantastic work week. I love you all. Please like, share, and subscribe, and we'll see you in the upcoming video. And you people are the ones that's going to dictate to what I'm going to do in that next video. Scope riser, cantilever scope mount, comment below. See y'all.